Welcome to Behind the Veil. Now, here is your transformational coach, Tammy.
I think if I get to the core of what's come up for me since our conversation, I think I've always wanted to be rescued is my core thing. And she's just one piece in that equation. Um, and dating and relationships has been a big piece of that. And this stems back to my divorce. But it's both on almost every level I've wanted to be rescued.
Good. I mean, good that we know that piece. That's
Yeah.
one that we get to dig into.
Yeah.
Okay. So did
Now,
you?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
You know what? I'm just aware that visualization techniques are very difficult for me, and I have a very hard time going to visualizing the light, the circle, all that stuff we did, before. I just want you to know that I struggle in that capacity.
Why?
I can't give you the why, I just know it.
Why?
I don't know.
I'll tell you why.
Okay. Good. Tell
When
me
you're
why.
okay, so when you have a lot of analyzer in your personality like you do, you're very left brain dominant. You don't relax into it to allow the answers to come forth. That's all it is. So I had an analyzer. I did a session on her yesterday, and she told me the same thing. Oh, I can't get into that. I can't visualize. And I said, first
By
of
the
all,
way, I didn't say can't. I said I struggle. Just want to clarify.
okay, tomato here.
No, there's a difference. I mean,
Well,
can't mean might be a different set of resistance.
okay, so what I'm saying is if one person can do it, why can't another person?
I'm
Beliefs.
just I just want to let you know that I've struggled with visualization.
And I totally appreciate your honesty. I just want to explain why. It's because when when you have a lot of analyzer in your personality, it's an analyzer is always seeking answers, always seeking answers. They never have enough answers. And so when you're being taken through a process where your conscious mind has to quiet down, you're not comfortable because you live in your conscious mind. You're constant.
I'm absolutely in agreement to that. And so I'm just laying out the foundation for you.
No, and I
of who
love
you're
that you
dealing with.
I love that you said it because it really does open all this is what I'm going to give you as far as instruction. When your conscious mind comes in, which it will, okay, all you have to do is say, okay, conscious mind, I hear you. I'm going to put you in the back seat for now. Okay.
Okay.
Just sit in the back seat and we'll get to you in a second. You're safe. You're good. Because all the answers are in the subconscious mind. And so when I take you through a process, what I'm doing is just quieting the conscious mind so that we could get the answers from the subconscious mind. That's where all the change work takes place.
I'm in agreement with that.
And so you said, okay, you've done psychedelics in the past. That's what it does for you. It allows you to shut down or silence the conscious mind and drop straight into the subconscious.
I've totally been in that vortex, and I've just known that, and I've done a gazillion guided meditations and meditations on my own, and I just struggle particularly the visualization part for me. So hey, listen, I'm here. I'm willing to give it a shot. I just want you to know that I didn't say can't. I just say I struggle.
Okay. Yes.
And that is an orange to a tomato.
Okay, Jonathan, we'll give you that.
By the way, my audience loved you.
Did they?
Yeah, we had lots of compliments about you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I got a couple calls. I got a couple calls from our interview, which was
okay. Cool. I'm happy for you.
But it's interesting because they are the precise woman that you say they are. It's interesting. You know your audience really well, and that's brilliant. You listen to you're very connected to them. You know them very well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I tend to cater to a relatively unconscious population that desires to break open, but they don't know how. I think the more sophisticated, spiritual, conscious woman doesn't gravitate to my message because there's an element of low energy that I address. Not and this isn't a conscious thing. Like, I mean, that's
Right.
what I'm trying to do is target that audience. It's just been a byproduct of how I began, kind of thing.
I think that you're incredibly gifted. I think you need to own, the people you call in at the level you do, because at every level, what I find, at least for myself, and this might be part of your funk too, is
Yeah.
that when I up level myself, I have this in between time where I'm not the old person anymore and not quite the new identity. So I'm in this middle place and it can feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
because I'm like, I just want to. But there is this beauty that happens when you're in the in between of like you're being stretched and it is uncomfortable. And so you might be there, and that might be part of your funk is that here you are up leveling and you're like, I don't want to speak to this person anymore. I'm going up here. And so allow for those shifts, because as you get those little intuitive hits, it'll be like, oh, this is what I need to change. Your audience will change with you, they'll shift with you.
Yeah. It's like, and here's where the frustration comes from. I'm recognizing that a pivot is in order, to some degree, an overhaul. I mean, that includes websites and YouTube videos and all the technology piece. And I'm like, I've gotten to an age, and by the way, I'm 62, reinventing is like, like I just want to coast and be semi-retired,
You
you
do?
know. Yeah, I do. I've wanted to be semi-retired for quite some time. I mean, I don't have the same energetic band. Now, let me reframe that. I I mean, I can do it. I just it's like getting back into the weeds, the trenches, all the mechanical pieces of
Yeah.
making the ships and all of the like, just even web and because my team that I have is not the right people to do this with.
Hmm.
So,
Well, I will just offer you this. Maybe partnerships are more aligned in your future. What if the right people were in place and your work actually became more energizing to you than depleting? Because I think that's what alignment is. I see you as you're shifting, you're having this up level and upgrade, and you get to let yourself also be served and received during this time. And what if that is just like the right people come in, the processes are easy, the partnerships come in, the parts of your job that you maybe don't like are taken over by someone who loves that,
oh, my
you know?
fantasy, I'll be candid with you, is to have my romantic partner be that person
Yeah, that would
and
be,
isn't dead broke.
yeah. Well, good. I'll be holding that. I'll be holding that for you, because that would be beautiful.
So, and that's what I also put in that rescue category. It's like there's this desire for that partnership, but it comes from a place of
Lack.
fear and lack. I mean, I'm aware of it all,
Yeah. I mean, I
but
have that one too. I have that belief too that I need a man to take care of me. That was a deeply ingrained belief. And
yeah,
I still struggle with that. So,
yeah.
yeah, we have those. But I want to dig in.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
All that it requires is for you to be open, wide open, and just like it's like
Oh shoot,
when
I
your
can take
conscious
this back.
when your conscious mind comes in, just kind of be like, hey, it's okay. Just sit back there. It's cool. And just release the fact, sorry, the thought. There we go. When the thought comes in, just release it. Okay. So, the always wanting to be rescued, you say. I'd love for you
I
to,
don't like the word always. I just mean
okay,
I want to be rescued. Just
okay, I want to be rescued.
yeah.
Where does that come from?
Um, I think it came from after I lost my high-end corporate job, went through a divorce, and got wiped out in the market crash of 2008. And I, I mean, I think that was where it began.
Do
It
you,
might have been well before that, but
yeah,
I that's where it's.
I'd like to follow it even further back. So, tell me a little bit about your relationship with your mom as a
Um,
child in your childhood.
I mean, I'm going to call it a, contentious relationship. Not My mother was possibly a borderline narcissist, um, and controlling and pessimistic. And also, whenever she was upset, she would emotionally abandon everyone in the household for like 3 to 5 days, even if it wasn't my fault, kind of thing.
Hmm. So, how did that play out in your relationship with her?
I mean, one, she was critical of me, and she would claim that I was pessimistic, which I think was a projection of her own pessimism. She also had a loving side to her. Her love language was cooking, so she showed love through food. My mother was 300 pounds, weighing or at 5'5". I think she um, was an emotional eater. Um, and both my parents were from another country. So growing up in the United States, I always felt awkward, um, because I wasn't like the other kids, kind of thing, from a socialization perspective. Um, but there was also this loving side of my mother, too, that very affectionate physically. Um, I think my mother, there's an interesting, my sister showed me a video when I was, I believe, 3 or 4 years old. And we were at a weekend party with groups of other Turkish people. Um, and it would be playing and games and barbecue, excuse me, but it was at like at a park. And I think I'm 3 years old, and I didn't know this, but my mother put me in the playpen while all the other kids are out playing. Because I was very unruly, she needed to confine me because she didn't know how to handle me. And I probably had, what was known as ADHD or ADD or whatever. And her way of handling me was just putting me in a playpen while all the other kids were playing. And literally, this video has me like look at the bars of a playpen, like I'm looking like I'm in a prison, going, I want to play, kind of thing.
So tell me about when we tap into your relationship with your mom as a child. How does that then affect you in your romantic relationships? Can you give me a little glimpse of your
Sure.
romantic relationships and in particularly the negative things like what led to the splitting up? What were the common negative attributes of these women you attracted?
I want to just add one more thing to my mom, and then I'll answer that because I've done extensive work analyzing these things. Did you know I emphasize that word?
Mm-hmm.
When my mother was pregnant, my mother had several miscarriages and a stillborn. So she was hyper anxious while I was pregnant due to safety. And I have a belief that that imprinted on me. Her energy of anxiety, a fear of losing a child was imprinted on me,
Mm-hmm.
which I just had an interesting realization just now about something. I'll come back to that later. So when it comes to romantic relationships, I'm aware that I have an anxious attachment style. Um, and where this gets played out is if I don't get a response back from somebody in what I believe a timely manner, I immediately go to, I did something wrong. they don't like me anymore. And then I go into people pleasing mode when that happens, trying to solve the problem. I think I've always had a big people pleasing. It's more about being liked. So to be liked, I have to do things extra special to be liked by people, and certainly in relationships. I do have a pattern of choosing emotionally unavailable women or emotionally women who struggle to express their emotions, which was indicative of my mother. So I tend to gravitate to that type of person. Um, the women I've chosen, I tend to put up on a pedestal so I don't act in the most confident way. Um, And I know there's a whole masculinity side that comes from my father, which I'm assuming you're going to go down that path. So I recognize that I, if I'm with somebody who tends to be a fearful avoidant or dismissive avoidant, I turn anxious. When I'm with someone who's anxious, then I become the avoidant.
Yep, that's the norm.
Yeah.
So what tends to bring these relationships? What tends to dissolve these relationships? Does it kind of, just does it is there an abrupt breakup, or is it sort of like you grow apart gradually? What's the pattern there?
Well, in my marriage, I just followed programming, go to college, get a job, meet someone, get married, buy a house, start a family. So I was radically unconscious when I chose my wife, and she just fit the narrative at that stage of my life. And all my friends were getting married, and we just hung out together. I had no clue how to build a relationship with someone. I had no clue how to be a husband, other than what the programming was just be the provider protector, and that's all you have to do. Um, and I didn't even know how to be a good father to my children. So my marriage grew apart, and it ended after about 12 years. In my first significant relationship after my divorce, I was in a I was in a very low point in my life. Um, And coincidentally, I chose someone. I say she's like my mother in that there was some similarities between the two of them. But I put that person up on a pedestal, and I was constantly people pleasing. The way I was always trying to get my mom's attention, the way I was trying to get love through, and I was, but I'd also went through this total crash of losing my job, going through divorce, getting the market crash. So I was in a very weak place, and I was just grateful somebody accepted me. Um, and that relationship, after we were together 6 years and three breakups in between. So it just kind of, the final fizzle out was, time to move on.
Okay. Okay,
And
that's
then
good.
my most significant relationship after that was for a year and a half. We lived together for 9 months. Also, somebody who struggled emotionally opening up. She was very upfront in the very beginning. She said she had walls up, emotionally speaking, but I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna show her how great I am. I'm just gonna give love, and it's gonna open you up, and I'll lead by example. I mean, ultimately, I think what she gleaned was we were in two different life paths, in trajectories in our life, and she recognized that the trajectory I wanted to head was a little bit different than her. So, she chose to end the relationship. That was a very painful breakup because I was I could possibly be highly insecurely attached to her, believing it was love, but I deeply cared for this person and thought it would go the distance. And in the year and a half we were together, we never fought. We got along great. We were great roommates with each other, but it did come out of the blue. And I think I was shocked. I think I was in literal shock. I mean, outwardly, I acted like I had my act together, but I think inwardly, I went into just radical acceptance, which I think was an emotional bypass of what was going on, because that was the death of a dream. That was a death of, I mean, I'm saying a death of sorts. of someone I deeply cared for. And I'm still grieving that relationship. And it's been in a year and a half since the time we're recording this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. I have what I need.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, so it's time we're going to get you relaxed. And it's safe and good to relax. You know, when you said when your mom was pregnant with you, she was very, very anxious. And
Yeah.
yes, of course, that has an imprint. And you can also train your way of being to a new set point. So let's do that now.
Okay.
So make your spine as straight as possible, allowing the energy to freely move up and down your spine. And just start to follow your breath. So breathe in and out, focusing on slower, longer, deeper breaths, connecting to the earth beneath you. In fact, if you can, make your feet flat on the ground.
I'm taking off the slippers.
Yes, take off your slippers, connect to the earth beneath, and just feel that earth, the mother's love, the true, pure mother's love, just coming up, rising up from underneath. And I want you to become aware. Actually, it's going to be a bit different because the masculine energy actually comes from above down as the woman's energy actually comes up. So I want you to connect to right above your head, directly above your head, about an inch from your scalp, is a big ball of energy. You know the drill. And I want you to connect to that. And I actually want you to give it a color, any color that feels peaceful and loving to you right now. What color would that be?
Gold.
Gold. Beautiful. So I want you to see at the top of your head is like a moon roof that opens up to receiving this gold energy. So I want you to just sort of tell yourself it is safe and good and right for me to receive this golden energy. That's right. So open it up. And with each breath you take and each beat of your heart, I want you to allow that gold energy to rush down through the top of your head. And as it does, I want you to feel it penetrating each and every cell as it moves down. So allow it to just pour all over your brain, both right and left hemispheres. And I want you to relax with each and every breath. That's right. Just tell your muscles it's okay to let go. This is your time to just be, to be the truest aspect of you, that spiritual aspect of you, that is underneath all the thoughts, that's separate from all the thoughts, and even separate from the body, for it is so much greater. I want you to allow it to move down, filling your eyes and your ears and your nose. That's right, your jaw. That's right. And as it moves down, allow it to penetrate each cell. And just allow your muscles to receive. Allow the cells of your body to receive this golden energy. And as it moves down, just feel that peaceful, loving state of this golden energy. As it moves down your neck and your throat to your shoulders, moving down your arms to your elbows and your wrists and your fingertips. And as it moves down to your chest, I want you to see it opening up your heart. That's right. On every single side, allow it to open up, allowing in this golden energy. See your heart receiving it with so much gratitude, saying thank you, as it's aligning you to your higher self, to your true essence, to the real you. As it moves down your abdomen to your hips, down to your knees, down to your toes. And as you take a deep breath in, I want you to exhale out this golden energy to create a ball around your body. That's right. And I want you to see this ball completely absorbing your entire auric field. And as you breathe in again and exhale, I want you to exhale it out to fill the entire room that you're in with this peaceful, loving, healing energy. And as you exhale again, I want you to fill your entire house. And as you exhale again, I want you to fill your entire street, your entire block. That's right. I want you to see it moving out. It's moving out from your heart center, moving out with each breath you take and each beat of your heart. It's moving out further and further and further. And now I want to bring your attention inward, deep inside of your body, deep, deep, deep inside of your body. And I want to take you back to our conversation where we're talking about this people pleasing, this choosing emotionally unavailable women. I want you to feel what it feels like when you're with a woman, a person, whether it's your mom, whether it's a partner who feels emotionally unavailable. I want you to feel those emotions that you feel when you're with that person in those moments where they're pulling away, in those moments where you're wanting to keep them, in the moments where you would do anything to keep them. There's a place in your body where these emotions are stored, where seem to be stemming from originally. I want you to take your hand and place it on that area. First impression. Now, what color is that?
Purple.
It's purple. So I want you to go all the way into that purple in your chest, all the way inside. I want you to go to the very core of it. I want you to notice and recognize that it is reflecting out from that area, out from your body, a screen. And on this screen is the very first memory experience that you have feeling these emotions. I want you to allow that screen to get very, very clear until you recognize this memory or series of memories. Tell me when you got it. You got it? You got it.
I've got one.
Okay. First impression, how old are you?
Like 12.
12. You could put your hands down now.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you alone or are you with someone?
I'm with.
Who are you with? What's happening in this image?
She's upset or she's not talking.
Mm-hmm. Is it just you and her?
Yeah, this
And where are you? Are you aware of where you're at in this memory?
I'm in the house I grew up in.
So tell me what's happening. How do you know she's upset?
She's just not talking. And the look on her face has got not anger, but just kind of resting bitch face.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to see that purple bubble that you see your 12-year-old self in, okay? And I actually want you to go into it. I want you to not only witness it, but I want you to feel what this 12-year-old version of you is feeling right here in this moment. Feel it. I want you to let him know that you come all the way back from the future to feel this for him, recognizing that he's been feeling it all this time. I want you to let him know that you've come back to dissolve this pain that he's experiencing. So I want you to look deep into his eyes. I want you to connect to him on the deepest level. What is he feeling right now?
He's feeling like he did something wrong. He feels afraid. He feels abandoned, ashamed, a little scared
Mm-hmm. What is he scared of?
that she'll never come back.
She'll never come back.
I mean, emotionally
And what
speaking,
would that mean?
I didn't worry about that from a physical sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I did. I don't know.
And what would that mean if she didn't come back emotionally?
Well, then it would be there'd be no love or affection.
Mm-hmm. Was she his only source of love and affection?
Me?
Was he this 12-year-old version of
Him.
this
No,
12 year
I mean, she had a husband and another
No,
child.
was she his only source for love and affection?
Was she his only source of love and
Yes.
affection? Um, I'd say for the most part.
Mm-hmm. So what else is he scared about? You can ask him.
I mean, he's scared about lots of things in his life.
Mm-hmm. What else is he scared about?
Uh, his friendships, his grades in school, being liked, not not very talented in sports or not very capable or competent with things. He felt very incompetent,
Hmm. What else is he feeling in this moment?
just alone.
Hmm. Should have moved all the way to the center. Did the color of the bubble change that he's in?
I don't know, black started to appear.
Okay. I want you to go into the black. That means that you're not really letting yourself feel this, and we have to feel it to heal it. So I want you to really take on his feelings. I want you to recognize that he is you. He is inside of you, and he is still feeling all these things. There's no such thing as time and space. Every age you've ever been still exists within you. He is very real. And so I want you to look deep into his eyes. What do you need? What does he need to hear from you or feel from you right here in this moment?
Well, I'm struggling feeling what he's feeling. I mean, I'll be candid with you. I can intellectualize it, but I'm not feeling it.
Well, however
Um,
you perceive that is
okay.
okay. I just want you to trust however it's coming through.
Okay.
Just trust it.
So, okay. Everything is going to be okay. There's nothing wrong with you. I've got your back. I mean, if we're talking about my higher self talking to him, I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah. I want you to impart wisdom to him that he can carry with himself throughout his life. If you can go back right here in this moment, knowing there's really no such thing as time and space, and impart to him beliefs, new beliefs that you can install right here, right now in him. What are the new beliefs? You're not alone. I'm here with you. I'll never leave you. We are one. You have a whole guidance team. You've never been alone. You are so important. You are so loved. You are perfect exactly the way you are. I want you to let him know that from here on out, he doesn't need anything from anyone else because he gets to be the love that he needs, and you're going to give it to him. Is any of this landing for him? Is he receiving any of this? What more does
A
he
little
need
bit.
from you? What more does he need from you?
Hmm. I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was a hug.
Yeah, I want you to hug him. I want you to scoop him up in your arms like he's one of your boys. Scoop him up in your arms and look deep into his eyes. And I want you to give him what he needs, what he desires. Does he desire to be heard? Does he desire to be felt? Does he desire companionship? You get to give it to him. You get to be his hero. I want you to let him know that he didn't do anything wrong, that he couldn't, that he came here for a purpose and he's fulfilling that purpose. And that all he needs to do is see the beautiful, wonderful, amazing soul that he is, to recognize that nothing went wrong, but it's all a part of his divine path that he's been on. He could never be kicked off his divine path, that this is part of it, and that it's time for him to let go of this pain that he's been holding on to for a long time. It's time to let go. I want you to literally pull that black off of him. And in fact, I want you to put him in your golden bubble. I want you to surround, in fact, both of you, put both of you in a golden bubble. And with each breath you take and each beat of your heart, I want you to intensify the energy over and over and over and over and over again. I want you to pulsate that energy until he feels it on a cellular level, imparting these new beliefs to him, letting him know that he has never been alone, that he just didn't see the guidance, but it's always been there. That he didn't do anything wrong, but his mom was a big part of his story, the reason why he gets to grow to be a great leader. I want him to see and feel the entire journey, knowing that it was all set up for him to grow into the leader, the masterful leader that he is to become, that he has become. And I want him to see all the people that he's going to impact as his golden bubble expands out from him. I want you to expand that golden bubble out, 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 out until it covers the entire world with this powerful golden energy pulsating through the planet. And I want you to let him know that that is his doing, that he did that. That's how powerful he is. And that as he feels and heals all these generational curses, I want him to see how it's radically affecting the whole world, not just his lineage, not just all the people that come after him and before him, but actually ripples out to the entire world. I want him to see the impact he's making in this world. Allow him to see. Give him the eyes to see from the broader perspective, from the higher perspective of who he was designed to be and how he was designed to share his gifts with the world. Does he feel it? Does he feel it?
A little bit.
A little bit?
I'm,
What are you seeing now? Tell me what you're seeing.
I mean, I'm not really seeing any, say.
You're not seeing him? What happened? You were seeing him. You said he had a dark bubble around him. What color does that bubble look now? Is it still black?
Yeah, it's still black.
Could you allow him to break down those walls that he has over his heart? He's got so many walls up. Can you let him maybe start taking those bricks down one by one so that he could let in the love that's all around him? What will it take for him to take these bricks down? What is he holding on to?
Well, I can project what I think he's holding on to. It just feels safe that way.
Yeah, but he's not letting in that one thing that he really wants. So does he want to hang on to the wall, or would he like to let that love in because it's literally surrounding him? It's everywhere. All he has to do is let it in. But he's got to make that decision for himself. Is he ready to make that decision?
I feel like I'm telling him to do it, not that he's volunteering it.
Hmm. So he would like to hang on to these walls. He'd like to keep that wall up.
I mean, I can ask him, but it's not like I'm getting that response back.
Okay. Ask him. Oh, what'd he say?
I want to, but I'm scared.
Uh-huh. What is he scared of?
Well, I think it's more that he feels safe in that, not, I don't know if he has like it just, that feels safer.
Mm. I want you to let him know that love doesn't really come externally. It comes from deep within him. I want you to let him know that it really radiates out from him, that it's not an external thing at all. Love comes in all sorts of forms. But I'm assuming that he's seeing more of romantic love as being unsafe. Or is it a general?
No, I think the fear is from everything,
Mm-hmm.
and romantic love is just one.
I want you to tell him that it's safe, that he's got nothing to hide from because he gets to be the source of his own happiness, his own love, his own joy, his own peace. He's the source of that, that nothing external is responsible for his happiness, that comes from deep within him because he's powerful, because he gets to create whatever he wants, because he gets to own and be the author of his own life, that no one gets to write the script for him. That's his job. Does he know that?
It's interesting, a memory of going into my closet, which was my spaceship.
Mm,
Like there was he wanted to escape
mm. What does he want to escape from?
everything. Um, because I guess in space he could be in control. He had all the levers and buttons and things that he could be in control.
Mm. So he believes he's safe when he can be in control. Does he want to keep that belief? Or would he like to change it?
Well, I want him to change it.
Then I want you to tell him that it's safe and good and right for him to release all these limiting beliefs, that he doesn't have to hang on to those, that they're not helping him, but they're hindering him. They're holding him back from what he really wants. I want you to start taking his wall down brick by brick. And as you take each brick down, I want you to let him know that he's safe, that you're there with him, that you won't leave him, that you're going to make sure he feels the safety. You're going to take care of him. that you're going to give him the love that he so deeply desires and longs for, that you're going to give that to him. Does he believe you? Does he believe you?
Well, he's doing his best to take down the bricks,
Mm-hmm. What
but I'm not
happens?
sure he's in a state of belief.
What happens when you take the bricks down for him?
Well, I think he's in a state of neutrality or neutral.
Mm-hmm. Which means he has no problem with you taking these bricks down. That must mean that he knows that you're safe, that he can trust you, that you're going to lead him and love him and be there for him. So I want you to take each brick down one by one, and I want you to feel the shift inside of your body as you take these down, letting this 12-year-old version of yourself know that he's safe, that it's safe to surrender and trust life. That things may happen that he doesn't like at times, but that's okay because that's part of the journey. There's ups and there's downs, and it's all part of the fun. That he didn't come here for boring and lame and no excitement whatsoever, but that he came for the ups and downs of the journey, that he came to experience all of it, that he came to feel, to love and be loved, and to allow this unfoldment, because that's part of his giftings that he's birthing to the world. He gets to share his journey with the world, and the world will listen to him because he's been through the ups and downs. They're going to trust him with
Mm,
their own stories, with their own pain. They're going to trust him because he's experienced it too. I want you to let him know that nothing has gone wrong, that he has done nothing wrong, but it's all part of the journey that he set out before he came into this life experience. That he came in for these specific challenges that he will face, and that he's equipped to experience them. Yeah, that one was heavy. Is the wall all the way down?
I mean, there's a big opening.
Okay. And how does that feel?
I mean, it feels good.
Mm-hmm. I want you to put that golden bubble around him. I want him to connect to it. And I want him to allow this to be his new set point. That every time he connects to this golden bubble, he remembers who he really is. He remembers why he came here. He remembers the journey he chose, and he connects to his own power, knowing that he has the pen in his hand and he's writing the story as he goes, as he chooses from this new place, knowing that he designed it all and is designing it all piece by piece as he goes. I want him to feel that he's in the control seat. He's in the power seat, not by having to slam things together, by making things happen, but by allowing it. That's his true power, is just allowing the truth, allowing this beautiful creative power to design his life, that he doesn't have to slam the pieces into place, but he simply gets to allow it to come in at the perfect time and in the perfect way that feels right and good to him, that he gets to be in this flow with life and not resisting at every turn, but saying, how is everything all working out for my good? This is so beautiful, this flow that I'm in. And I want you to give him a hug. And I actually want you to shrink him down to the size of a postage stamp or smaller. And I want you to pick him up and I want you to place him inside of your heart, so you have that direct connection to him at all times. So you could let him know that anytime he needs you, you're coming back for him, and you'll be so closely connected because he'll be in your heart. So I want you to pick him up and put him inside of your heart, literally pick him up, put him in. Use your hands physically.
Oh, I was thinking that.
Breathe him in. Okay, you could wiggle your fingers and toes, come back into your body, come back into the room. Feel the change in your body. Feel the change in the cells. Damn, you look different. You look bright.
Mm.
You're glowing. How did that feel?
It was interesting. I mean, I mean, as far as feelings. I'm trying to think. I was thinking more of sensations. Um, I felt myself resisting, or I felt, you know, reservation, but as I kind of pushed, but I kept taking my conscious mind and saying, go to the parking garage, go out here, like, and like just keep, letting it go, trusting, like, because I could feel some of that
I
popping in.
know, but I think you did so good. Of course, everyone's going to have resistance when they go through a process like this. That's
Yeah,
normal. That's grappling with all the different parts of you, your physical mind,
yeah.
your spirit, it's really bringing everyone online. But I was like, dude, he's freaking, I don't, he wanted to give me a little, oh, I might not be that good at it, but then turns out
Mm.
you did really, really good.
Oh, well, thank you. I recognize there's a lot of repressed stuff from that period of my life. I mean, I'm aware of it. And there's been, lots of bricks, lots of black bricks,
Yeah.
that have been accumulated over the years. And while I've worked on variety of different things in my life, on different modalities, I mean, there's a shitload of heaviness there. But I also recognize towards the end, it was interesting because I know even in my professional life, I'm going through another evolution, and 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 I know it's all based on the pain I've experienced in life and being you know, to the extent that I'm a role model or guide for others, in my professional capacity, I certainly I've endured or experienced a lot of pain, so I know what that feels like. And I also don't, you know, I don't, blow smoke up people's ass and say, oh, just snap your fingers and it's just going to be. I'm not suggesting exercises like this aren't great and good, but I mean, I've been working on myself for a long time. And so I can feel not that scared 12-year-old boy.
And yet that 12-year-old
Oh,
boy is you.
no, I get it. I mean, and there's just, and I'm grateful for all the experiences. In some ways, my pain is what makes me a good coach.
We all have pain. We all
Yeah.
have pain. It's just our relationship to it. Like now,
Yes.
because I understand that pain is a teacher, it doesn't lead to suffering. I go into it, I feel it, I heal it, and I move on with my life. I don't resist it and say, no, it's not there. I go into it. I go into the
Yeah.
very center of it. I feel it. I allow it to move through my body and express through me, and then it dissolves. But I think a big misconception or something we don't do as humans is we resist the pain. We're like, no, I don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel it.
Yeah.
But that's the only way to heal it. So that my work is really to get people to understand that and to move the pain out of them because
Yes.
we're just sitting there with all these pain in our with all this pain in our body, and my goal is to incrementally help people pull the pain out. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
live in you. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be there anymore. And that pain is keeping you, the walls around your heart. I see this with every man I've worked with. I haven't worked with tons of men,
Yeah.
but every time we have to work on that wall.
Yes. In fact, just on a side note, or I want to piggyback on this for a moment, is that I was in a gigantic state of depression 20 years ago that lasted for about 6 years. And it wasn't until I began doing personal development, self help, spiritual work, and therapy to start feeling better. I mean, literally, I went to bed wishing I didn't wake up.
Mhm.
And throughout the years, that feeling of fear and depression has knocked on my door. Um, but and I mean, I've lost a child. I lost a significant relationship. My business has gone through some evolutions where, or financially I've gone through evolutions. And yet the fear and the depression doesn't overwhelm me. it's there. Sometimes I just sit with it and hold that space. I think it's because I built emotional scaffolding in my life that's helped me avoid going to the place that I did before, kind of thing. I'm just aware of that. Um, and what's interesting coming back to men is this past weekend, I did a retreat for a couple with a man, and he's all the walls, the bricks, and all that kind of stuff. And in the 8 hours we were together, I mean, he opened up the floodgates, mainly because he's never talked about his stuff to anyone, because he's that stoic person that has so many bricks up, and just even sharing it was this catharsism for him. And I'm only bringing this up regarding men, is oftentimes men have this gigantic fear of even sharing all of the pain and what brought the pain and everything. So for us, just sometimes just even talking about it opens the floodgates.
Mm-hmm.
And they walked away, the couple walked away in absolute gratitude. I mean, they've called me every day since, thanking me for just being in that space of holding space. And my reason for bringing this up is, if I hadn't done all this work beforehand, I wouldn't know how to be in a space to hold space for someone and really be a catalyst for it. And I mean, it's a little bit different than this work that you're doing. But I recognize men in particular. I mean, we have so many walls up, not to suggest women don't have their own fair share of walls, but for them, just even talking about it out loud is just a release
Mm-hmm.
uh, for them.
Yeah. So good. Anything else that came up for you during that? Like anything that surprised you?
I struggled to go back much past 12 years old. So, I mean, I've had some things, but that, and I'm roughly 12 years old. I could have been 10 now that I think about it. I mean, I mean, I'm going to say right at that age. You know, um, you know, I recognize that, you know, I know my parents didn't intend to hurt me. Like I understand that, but I recognize that, my childhood was a very challenging childhood. But then again, I mean, we all have, so I'm not trying to singular my
Mhm.
experience out. And I think from a humanity sake, from an overall sake, people are thirsty for connecting with that inner child, to learn these skills, to learn these tools, to do these types of modalities like what you teach, because I think we're all thirsty for connecting with that scared 6-year-old, 12-year-old inside of us that didn't really have a strong nurturing and love.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what I encourage people after we do this work is like develop that relationship with those aspects of yourself. So like for instance, when I get triggered,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what age is this? And oftentimes I'm working with my 4 or 5 year old self.
Okay.
She's that part of me that needs me the most. So it's so good to understand when they're kind of saying, hey, I'm here, I'm feeling some things, be with me now. And what happens is you nurture this relationship with all these different parts of yourself, and you're just going to have so much love for them that it's going to change everything about you because you're going to be that in tuned with all aspects of yourself.
Well, I'd like to do this with my dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Because there's a
so
whole nother piece to this that represents
so
my
yeah,
father.
and when I work with my clients, that's why we do 12 weeks together because we work incrementally. I find that because someone like you, a
Yeah.
man in particular, gosh, it just takes a little bit more time together before we really start because you have to create trust within your that trust that the distrust he had with you, all that's telling you is like this relationship needs to be developed. So by the like third, maybe fourth session I do with my clients, they start to just boom, floodgates are open and we could just we work so much faster from that point because
Yeah.
they've proved to themselves, okay, this is safe, and they've also seen how it has positively affected their life. Like my clients say after the first one, damn, I feel lighter, I have more peace, I'm not being triggered as much. And so by the third or fourth, they're like wide open, and we're just like really shifting things within them. So
Yeah.
is there's a reason why one can absolutely have profound effects for people, but when you are working on it consistently, I mean, they completely change as a person. They take on a new identity because they realized that
Yeah.
their old identity was created by all their pain from childhood that was unresolved. So that's where we see just these massive results of like I people don't even they can hardly believe this is me because I've shifted so much.
By the way, this is still part of the
Well,
podcast, right?
I don't know when we're gonna I don't know when we're
No,
gonna
because I want to say everybody that's listening this, click the link and hire Tammy right now.
I appreciate that. So then you liked it. It was good. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm okay with you having my image up when you do this.
you are.
Yeah, I'm okay. Well, I want to promote this on my channel.
Oh, that would be
You can use this
awesome.
entire video.
Really?
I don't care. Yeah, unedited. I mean, maybe the beginning edit it, but I mean, even right to this moment. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
Everybody, click the link below and hire Tammy.
I so appreciate that. Um, Yeah, like I mean, like I told you, this modality that I created was out of this desire to go as deep as I could in the shortest amount of time. And
Yeah.
because I wanted the impact to be so great that it only took once, even though I don't know that it does, but it's deep, right?
No, it's deep. And I would, again, I would venture to say doing this for, a period of time, it's little increments. You're peeling the layers. And for some of us, for some people, I could see this opening up very quickly. And for those of us that have just a shitload of bricks around it, might just take longer. Uh,
But the thing was that what was so beautiful about yours
hmm,
because I could, when I'm in there with you, I'm, I'm in the image with you. You don't even see me, but I'm that invisible person in the room with you and your mom, right? And I'm in the room helping you with
no
each
wonder
brick.
it felt so crowded.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
in there
kidding.
literally helping you with each brick. I was covered in goosebumps,
Okay.
covered, and this has only been happening recently. But when someone has these like real shifts, I'm reading your energy, I'm feeling into it, I'm feeling the resistance with you, and I'll get a little headache with the tension because it's like you want to break through, but you're like, is it safe? Is it safe? And I'm like, yes, it's safe. It's safe. It's good. You want this. Everything you want is on the other side. I'm in the room with you. And so it's so powerful how you stayed with it because I've had some people pop
Oh,
out.
I was ready to split a few
Oh
times.
yeah, you were ready to open your eye. I've had people, particularly analyzers, high analyzers, where they're like, "Okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
this is too much tension for me." But I'm like, "But you stayed with it. You stayed with it, and you had this like." Then I felt the moment where you were like, "No, I'm going to take the bricks down. Like I'm going to take them down." And it was
Yeah.
just like then there was like this release and rush of energy. It was so divine. Oh, it's the shit I wake up for, man. It's so juicy. It's so good. And just to heal the men, like the men, you guys need it most because you've been manipulated out of connecting to your emotions so
Yeah.
much, so greatly. It's like for the men to step up and be like, nope, I'm willing to do this work. Like I'm gonna heal the lineage. It's like, oh, that's so
Yeah, and
fucking
and
juicy.
again, I want to post this on my channel if it's okay with you. And to
Yeah.
anyone who's watching right now, if you got this far, particularly men, and I want to say that, you know, we men I mean, I know there's a lot of angst in the dating marketplace, and we all would like it to be like the movie The Notebook or Serendipity or whatever, but this is the real reality we live in. I grew up with a middle class family that was mostly, was not Ozzy or Harriet or anything like that, but I grew up like an average kid. And yet, emotionally speaking, I suffered significant emotional trauma that put all these dark bricks around me to protect myself. And I'm just an average guy. I mean, I know some men who have had significant trauma in their childhood, but just even for the average guy, this is not easy for us. And it's not easy to identify our feelings and to really even just experience the feelings. And when I say the word, it's not easy, it's foreign to us. And then to be able to articulate that. And the minute you're in relationship with someone, there's all this emotional responsibility. And we're swimming, like we're a bunch of 3 year olds trying to do this. And we don't intentionally, I think, mean to hurt anyone. It's just we're not good at this. And it takes work like Tammy's and work from others to start building those new bricks. And I don't mean to cover our lives, but to build that emotional scaffolding and that awareness and tapping into what this feels like. And by the way, when a guy does do this, we have to give a lot of credit to that too, or at least I'm encouraging that, because doing
I
inner work
do.
is not easy. Inner work is not easy. It is not for the faint of heart. And whether you're doing this for yourself, which I encourage everybody to do this, but just recognize that, you know, relationships are not for the faint of heart. You almost need ninja level skills to have a happy relationship, and I'm exaggerating that a little bit, but and it takes a fair amount of awareness. So okay, I'm done pitching. Click that link, hire Tammy right now.
Thank you, Jonathan. You're awesome. I'm so glad that you just bore your soul and got so vulnerable and real, because that's where we really shift, is when we're just like so authentic and just like, here's all my shit, put it out there. Like it's honest. It's beautiful. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Can I give you a big hug of appreciation?
Yes. Big hug.